Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. So in one of our previous videos, we started a project clearing a hillside on the backside of our garage in hopes that we'd be able to excavate that out and put a lean-to building onto the side of our garage for additional equipment storage. However, we've run into a snag. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so here is the hillside that we originally cleared out with the brush hog on the back of the tractor and that WoodMax MX8800 PTO powered chipper. And if you look, when we were originally planning this project, you've got your right-of-way for the gas line that goes right up here. And I was under the assumption that that pipeline would be buried directly underneath that right-of-way. Well, as it turns out, it is about 4 feet to the right, closer to the garage. So from the corner of the garage here up to that flagpole right there is about 29 feet. And we have to stay 25 feet away from the gas line for any type of digging or projects. So that only leaves us about 4 feet to excavate out, and at that point, it really just isn't worth it. Like I mentioned in the last video, this is an 8-inch high pressure line. I think they said it's about 180 pounds of pressure in this line. So they really don't want anybody getting anywhere near it, because if it goes, it's gonna be a big problem. So here is the back side of the garage, and a lot of people suggested, why don't you put the lean-to on the back side of the garage, because that way you're further away from the gas line that goes up the hill this way. Well, the problem with that is we already have a garage door there, which would be kind of nice to have the garage door come out underneath the lean-to. But the second problem is we have our water well right there buried in that hosta. So we're not moving that anytime soon. So that's why we can't come off the backside. Also, if you notice this fence here, which, I mean, we could move the fence, but it kind of comes in at an angle. And so we'd have to move that fence and then excavate back this way into the hillside. All doable, but I think there's a better course of action. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so what is our plan B for additional equipment storage if we can't put a lean-to onto the side of the current detached garage or on the back of the detached garage? Well, right here is our plan B. This is the house as it sits right now. This is what I'm hoping to add. I want to put an attached garage onto the house. So if you look at it this way, this is what it would look like. Here's the side of the house, here's the garage. And this attached garage would be used primarily for just our vehicles, and then that would free up our detached garage for things like the tractor and the mower and the side-by-side and any other equipment we might have. I'll probably start storing our attachments for the tractor in there as well, since we'd have the additional space. The other nice thing about doing this and having it attached is we would have a walkway from inside the garage directly behind our wood stove. So instead of stacking our IBC totes outside and tarping them and having snow on top of them all winter long, I'd actually be able to bring our IBC totes right in the garage, and then I could just come out to the garage. I wouldn't have to put any shoes on or anything like that to grab firewood for the wood stove. So that would kill a lot of birds with one stone. Now, there are some downsides to this. All right, so the first downside to doing it this way is obviously cost. This is going to cost much, much more than just a simple lean-to onto the side of our detached garage. The second downside is because this is going to be part of a dwelling, we're going to have to use stamped lumber, so we're not going to be able to use lumber off of our sawmill that's coming in August. So that's the second downside that I can see to this project. Now, the third downside is, if you can see on the side of the house there, that is our electric utility, that is our cable utility, and then our gas utility is on that side right there. So we're going to have to move our utilities, although it's not going to be as big of a problem as this pipeline over here, because this is an 8-inch high pressure line, and this is just a service line over here. It's still going to be another cost that we're going to have to take into account. Now, this project is also going to be delayed at least a year. We're going to have to call 811 Dig and have them come back out again. The reason we don't want to jump into it right now is obviously the cost of materials is through the roof. Also, since this is going to be more money than we were planning on spending, we're going to have to take a little bit of additional time to save for doing this. I'm the type of person that I've had enough debt in my life. I am done having debt, so I want to pay cash for this project and not have any more payments. Now, the fourth thing that we're going to have to do to bring this project to life is obviously relocate this fence. So we'll have to move the corner of this fence in this way. That corner of the fence is going to have to come on this side of the house here, or the garage. That way we can get our vehicles, come up the driveway, take a right here, and pull right into the garage on either side there. So that's going to be an additional cost because all of those fence posts are cemented in. We'll probably end up destroying a few, if not all of them, trying to get them out. So we'll have to replace all of that fencing as well. Now, if you're like me and you have a tough time visualizing things, I highly recommend making a model of some sort so you can visualize what the project is going to look like. This is something that if somebody were just to kind of talk me through what this would look like, I would have no idea. So I need something like this in order to see what the project's gonna look like. This actually was not my idea. This was my neighbor Doug's idea. He's put multiple additions onto his house, and he said this is what he uses so that he can explain the project to others, because he can see it in his mind, but in order to convey what it's gonna look like, he's gotta do this to show other people. But anyway, I am really excited about this project. I have always wanted an attached garage. Like I said, it's gonna make bringing firewood in the wintertime so much easier. The only downside is we're not gonna get that instant gratification. We can't start on it tomorrow. We've gotta wait for lumber prices to come back down, and we've also gotta save up a little bit more money. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, click that subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.